Welcome to the Grabber Feeds page. In ComusTumbz, a feed is a configured tube site source, a target URL, a parsing rule set, and a default category that the Grabber periodically scrapes to import new videos as embed entries in your library. This page is where those feeds live. You add them, edit them, enable or disable them, run them on demand, and watch what comes back. To open it, log in to your admin panel and navigate to domain.com/ct/admin/grabber_feeds.php, or from the admin navigation menu, find the import section and choose Grabber. The Feeds tab is the default landing view. When the page loads, you'll see a green gradient banner across the top with a satellite dish icon and the title Tube Grabber. A breadcrumb above shows Dashboard, then Import, then Tube Grabber. To the right of the title is a green Add Feed button. Below the banner sits a sub-navigation strip with 6 tabs: Settings, Feeds, Model Feeds, RSS Feeds, CSV Import, and History. The Feeds tab is highlighted. On the far right of that strip is an external link labeled Feed Sources that opens the manual page on ComusTumbz.com in a new tab, the Stats strip. Below the sub-navigation are 4 summary stat cards in a row, each with a colored left edge. The first card is Total Feeds, the count of every feed defined in the TBL Grabber Feeds table, active or inactive. The second card with a green edge is Active Feeds, the count of feeds currently enabled. Only active feeds are picked up by the cron and the bulk Run Selected button. The third card with a blue edge is Last Grab, the timestamp of the most recent successful scrape across all feeds, formatted as month, day, hour, minute. If you've never run a grab, it shows an M dash. The fourth card with an orange edge is Videos Imported Today, the sum of every video the Grabber has imported since midnight, pulled from TBL Grabber log. This is your daily productivity number. If it's growing through the day, your active feeds are healthy. The feed list. Below the stats is the feed list card. The card has a green header bar with a list icon and the title Feed List, the total feed count on the right, and a small Add Feed badge button. Below the header sits the filter bar. The filter bar has 2 drop-downs. The first filters by site, grouped under headings like Adult Tube Sites, Cam/Live Platforms, and General Platforms, covering Pornhub, Xvideos, Xhamster, RedTube, Tube8, YouPorn, Spank Bang, XNXX, ePorner, and roughly 30 more, plus cam sites like Chatterbait and StripChat, and general platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter/X. The second drop-down filters by status: active, inactive, pending, draft, or error. Both filters submit instantly when you change them. If a filter is applied, a clear button appears to reset. Below the filter bar is the bulk actions bar. It only becomes visible after you tick at least one row checkbox. It shows the count of selected feeds in 5 buttons in a row: green Enable All, yellow Disable All, blue Run Selected, red Delete Selected, and a gray Cancel button to clear your selection. Below the bulk bar is the feed table itself. If the table is empty, no feeds yet defined, you'll see a centered empty state with a satellite dish icon, the message No Feeds Configured Yet, a hint line, and a green Add Your First Feed button. Otherwise, the table has 9 columns. The first column is a checkbox for bulk selection with a Master Select All checkbox in the header. The second column is Site, a small badge showing a globe icon, and the friendly site name pulled from the site map. The third column is Feed Name and URL, the feed name in bold on the first line, with the configured URL or keyword in faded text below. Hovering over the URL shows the full string in a tooltip. The fourth column is Type, a colored chip, keyword with a magnifying glass icon, model feed with a user circle icon, or direct URL with a chain link icon. These match the 3 feed type radio buttons in the add feed form. The fifth column is Category, the assigned category name from TBL categories, or an EM dash if no category is set. The sixth column is Status, a small status pill with a colored dot. If the feed is active, the pill shows the configured imported video status, active in green, pending in yellow, draft in gray, or error in red. If the feed has been disabled, the pill turns gray and reads inactive. The seventh column is last grabbed, the timestamp of the most recent run for this specific feed in month, day, hour, minute format, or an M- if it's never run. The eighth column is total, the running count of videos this feed has ever imported, formatted with 1,000 separators. The ninth column is actions, 4 small buttons per row. A gray pencil icon opens the edit modal pre-populated with this feed's values. A green or yellow toggle icon flips the feed's active flag. A blue play icon kicks off an immediate grab for just this one feed. And a red trash icon deletes the feed after a confirmation prompt. To the right of the action buttons is a hidden feedback span where the grab status appears in real time when you click the play button. We'll see that in action shortly. Below the table is the pagination control if there are more than 25 feeds. Standard previous, next, and numbered page links with the current page highlighted in green. Adding a new feed. Click the green Add Feed button, either the one at the top right of the page header or the badge button in the feed list card header. A modal pops up with a green header reading Add Feed and an X to close. The modal body is split into 6 labeled form sections. Let's walk through each one. The first section is basic info, marked with an information icon. It has 3 fields. Feed name is the human-readable label that shows up in the feed list. Make it descriptive. Pornhub most viewed today beats feed 7. Required. Site is a drop-down grouped by category. Pick the source site. The list is populated from the grabber site configs class if installed, or a built-in fallback of about 40 sites. Select Other for sites not in the drop-down. Required. Below the drop-down is a yellow notice line that appears for a few specific sites. ePorner only supports keyword search through its API, and RedTube uses an API because of EU age verification. The notice tells you what kind of input to put in the next field. Feed URL or keyword is the actual scrape target. The hint line below changes with the feed type you pick. For keyword, type a search phrase. For model, paste the profile URL or username. For direct URL, paste the full listing page URL required. The second section is feed type, marked with a sliders icon. 3 radio buttons: keyword search, model feed, and direct URL. Keyword is the most common. The grabber runs your phrase through the site search. Model feed grabs all videos from a specific performer's profile. The model relevance filter on the settings page checks each result against the model's name to keep junk out. Direct URL is for any specific listing page, a category tag, or most viewed page. The grabber walks that page in the next few pages of pagination. Changing the radio button updates the URL field hint, and for model feeds, the model drop-down below becomes visible. The third section is cookies, marked with a cookie icon. Optional, a single text area where you paste browser cookies in name equals value, semicolon format. Use this for age-gated or login required sites. Open DevTools, go to Application or Storage, copy the cookie string, paste it here. Leave blank otherwise. The fourth section is category and model assignment, marked with a tags icon. 2 drop-downs side by side. Category lists every visible category from TBL categories. Pick one to tag every video this feed imports. Leaving it blank lets the auto category matching feature on the settings page handle it. Model lists up to 500 active models from TBL models, but only shows when you've chosen the model feed type. For keyword and direct URL feeds, it stays hidden. Pick the model whose page you're grabbing, and every imported video links to that profile. The fifth section is grab limits, marked with a tachometer icon. 2 number fields: max videos per grab, range 1 to 500, default 20. Caps how many videos a single run pulls in. Bump it for high volume feeds, drop it for testing. Max pages, range 1 to 50, default 3. How many result pages the grabber walks. Most sites paginate at 20 or 30 videos per page, so 3 pages covers 60 to 90 thumbnails. Crank it up to backfill a large catalog. Trim it to 1 for catch the latest feeds. The sixth and final section is Publish Settings, marked with a flag icon. Imported video status is a drop-down with 3 options. Active publishes immediately. Pending holds for moderation. Draft saves hidden. Default is active. Pick pending while you're testing a new feed. To the right are 2 checkboxes. Feed is active toggles whether this feed runs at all. Check by default. Use proxy routes. This feed's CURL calls through the proxy you configured on the Grabber settings page. Leave unchecked unless the site is blocking your direct IP. At the bottom of the modal are 2 buttons, a gray cancel and a green save. Click Save and the form posts back to grabber_feeds.php. The add handler validates the required fields, inserts a row into TBL Grabber feeds, and the page reloads with a green success alert at the top. Running a feed manually. The fastest way to test a brand new feed is to run it manually and watch what happens. Find the feeds row in the table, look at the actions column, and click the blue play icon, the Grab Now button. When you click play, the button disables. The feedback span next to it lights up yellow with grabbing ... and the page fires an AJAXPOST to ajax_grabber.php. The Grabber runs in real time on the server, fetching the listing page, parsing thumbnails, optionally fetching each detail page for enrichment, deduping against your library, and inserting fresh rows. Within seconds to a minute, the response comes back. The span turns green with grab completed, plus the new video count, and a bug icon link reading View Debug Log appears. If anything went wrong, the span turns red, shows the error, and the debug log auto-opens. If the run was successful, an import preview strip slides in below the stats cards. A horizontal scrollable strip of thumbnails for every imported video. Click any thumbnail to open the video preview overlay. A centered modal with the embed playing inline, and a metadata list of title, source URL, duration, and tags. An X closes the overlay. The preview strip has its own close button. Editing and bulk operations. To edit a feed, click the gray pencil button in its actions column. The same modal opens with the header Edit Feed, every field pre-populated, and the Save button reading Update. Submit and the update handler writes back without creating a new row. To work on several feeds at once, tick their checkboxes or use the Master Select All in the table header. The bulk actions bar appears with 5 buttons. Enable all sets is _active to 1. Disable all sets it to 0. Feeds stay defined, but cron skips them. Run selected fires a grab for every checked row in sequence. Use with care. 10 feeds can take several minutes. Delete selected drops the rows after a confirmation prompt. No undo. Cancel clears your selection, connecting to the settings page. This feeds page handles per feed configuration, which site, which URL, which limits. The companion Grabber settings page handles global rules that apply to every feed. Thumbnails, fake stats, CURL user agent, proxy, duration filter, model relevance filter, and cron interval. Click the Settings tab in the sub-navigation strip or browse to grabber_settings.php. See the separate Grabber settings tutorial for those 10 accordion sections. How it all fits together? Quickly, the architecture. Every feed is a row, and TBL Grabber feeds with columns for feed name, site key, feed URL, feed type, 0 for keyword, 1 for model, 3 for direct URL. Category ID, model ID, max videos, max pages, post status, optional cookie string, an active flag, and a use proxy flag. The page is a CRUD interface on top of that one table. When the Grabber runs, whether you click Grab Now, Run Selected, or the cron fires on schedule, it loads each active feed, applies the global settings from TBL Grabber settings, fetches the target through CURL, parses with the site-specific scraper, deduplicates, applies the duration and model relevance filters, optionally enriches each video by fetching its detail page, and inserts surviving videos with the feed's post status. Every step is logged to TBL Grabber log, which feeds the History tab and the videos imported today stat. A typical workflow. Add a feed with conservative limits. 20 videos, 3 pages, Post status pending. Click Grab Now and watch the debug modal to confirm the parser is finding what you expect. If the run looks clean, switch to active. If it's empty or full of junk, refine the keyword or add cookies and try again. Once tuned, leave it alone and let the cron work. A few tips. Name feeds descriptively. Set new feeds to pending until you trust them. Keep max videos modest at first. Bumping the cap to 200 without monitoring can flood your library. If a site returns empty results, check the site drop-down notice. ePorner and RedTube only support keyword input. If Cloudflare rejects your grabs, set Use Proxy on the feed and configure curl impersonate plus a residential proxy on the grabber settings page. Check the History tab once a week to be sure nothing has drifted. That's the grabber feeds page. 4 stat cards, a filter bar, a 9-column feed table, 4 per row actions, a 6-section add or edit modal, an AJAX grab button with live feedback, an import preview strip, a debug log modal, and bulk actions. Combined with the grabber settings page and the cron on your server, this is where your tube import pipeline lives. Configure each feed once, run it manually to confirm the parse, set it active, and your library keeps filling itself.